Hello, hello. All right, I see my Miss Siri. Thank you for being here, sweetheart. I'm going to wait for everybody, but I'm so excited. So just welcome in, and we'll talk in a few minutes. I just want to give a few folks. This is my first one, so I want to give folks a chance to pop in. And this is so exciting. And of course, while I'm waiting before we kick off, my house smells so delicious. So I follow some homesteaders and they're like, oh, use what you have in your house instead of going to the store. So I have this beautiful pork loin that's been cooking. I made chicken legs, and now my house smells scrumptious. So, oh, yay. Hi, Cass. Hi, Crystal. Yay, yay, yay. I got Misha in here. Whoop, whoop. And I see Marie. I don't know you, Marie. I don't think so. Welcome. I may have seen you on during the holidays. Um, so, hey, Matrix Rabbit. Hi, 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 hi. I'm just going to give people a chance to get in, and then we're going to dive in. So, I am wicked excited. Welcome to my channel, Wounds to Wisdom. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Teresa. And what I want to do today really is a kickoff. This is my first live. Although, for those of you that may or may not know, during the holidays, Christmas, well, Thanksgiving, but I wasn't part of that. Christmas and New Year's, Misha, who I owe a huge debt of gratitude to, put together what was called the Village. Multiple channels, multiple creators, supporting each other because there was a lot of people that didn't have family or friends to hang with. And so she did a 48-hour live, no kidding, live, hour by hour. Some people did 2 hours in a row. So I had a little initiation because I sort of slid into her DM that way. And but this is my personal live. And so hello, hello, hello. Hi, Shannon. Hey, PG. Hey, Lindsay. Oh my goodness, so many lovely people. So just to let everybody know, I'm going to try to focus on what I want to say today. It'll be hard for me to follow the chat. Please don't feel offended if I don't acknowledge you today. I will get my groove going, but I really want to focus in on you and talk to you guys about what it is that Wounds to Wisdom is, who I am, and what you can expect from this channel moving forward. So I'm going to sip. This is apple cider, so don't think it's something else. And by the grace of God, my 2 pups are sitting on the couch with me and they're sleeping. So let's pray nobody gets them going. So the channel, excuse me. You know, I've been on YouTube for a while. And as I have been searching for things that I felt I could relate to, I was struggling to find channels that talked about healing, about growth, about some traumas that I personally had experienced and wanted to hear how others have overcome. And what I saw didn't really gel with me. Now, I hadn't met the Village, and I'll talk about them in a minute, and I hope I don't forget. But there are some awesome creators in this Village that eventually I'll start to highlight and have come on. But I also, one of the beauties of being in my 60s is I've met some great teachers, some unintended teachers, but I've been very fortunate through my energy practice to have had some phenomenal teachers that explain, guide, support, encourage. And for me, that just helps me to soar. And recently, someone had basically said, poop or get off the pot. This is the time. Those that are in this energy healing arena know that some heavy stuff is in the air. And anyone that follows astrology, and I know some really good astrologers, knows that this is a turbulent time. So part of what I want to do is talk a little bit about how this channel will evolve over time with the topics. I am not a medical professional, so what I will be speaking about is personal. It's what I know, it's what I've experienced, and it's what I've gleaned through other people. Please take care of yourself. There may be subjects that you're sensitive to, and drop off. Take care of you. Only you can do that. Maybe come back and watch it on the replay if you're feeling strong enough, because there are going to be days where we're going to get into it, and I think we have to in order for us to grow. And that's also personal, in order for me to crack my shell. And, so some of the topics, grief. And when I talk about a little bit about myself, grief is integral to who I am. And so what I found along the way is that many of you have almost been locked in grief, and there's no place to go and talk about it. And I'm a safe space. We get to talk about it here. So we'll talk about the grief of loved ones, but we're also going to talk about the grief of losing innocence, of losing our naivete, some of us, losing trust in humans, losing our pets, which I'm not going to jump to anybody else's thing, but losing a pet to me is profound. And also grief of losing a career, maybe not so much a job, but if you have a career and that's sort of been sucked away from you, that's a tough one. Losing friendships, that's grief. You're mourning that. And what I have learned is that some of the grief that I have experienced is self-induced, if that makes sense. So we'll talk about that as we go through this journey. We're going to talk about traumas. And a lot of the traumas that we'll talk about are related to death. I can't say these words, but I think you're all smart enough to know what SA is. And R. Maybe we could call that grape. No, I don't want to misuse that word. I love that fruit. But you all know what I mean, I believe. PTSI, they've changed the PTSD to PTSI because it's an injury, not so much a disorder. And that's for people that have experienced a whole host of things that have led them to have this PTSI. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm really going to talk about what I know. But what I don't know, I'm going to bring on some guests that can help us navigate some of these topics. I'm going to bring on, I hope, some of my teachers that have helped me expand my path and to really understand and know. Hi, Brazzy girl. There's so much that we as women and men, and what the village has done for me is highlight. I've been disrespectful to the male perspective, and I don't see any here yet, but there are some really terrific men that I've met through the village. They've got a story, and they are incredible human beings. So this is really a journey for us all to find respect for each other, to listen to each other, and then to give space. We all get to respond how we respond. I want this channel to be built in love and light, community, companionship, because some of us just don't have that in person. Let's start it here. Some of us are a little bit, I don't want to use agoraphobic because I'm not agoraphobic, but I have definitely been, what's the word? Insulated? I'm introverted. I'm not sure. I think you all know. I've sort of just been a hermit in my home. And it's now to come out of my house, there's a new level of anxiety. And why? Why? I need to examine that. And I think you all can share your pearls of wisdom and we can go through this together. This channel is also about, well, I said healing. Really, it's allowing us to awaken to other possibilities. The divine above us, Mother Earth. We have so much that we can tap into, that we can self-heal. And I think we don't focus so much on that, and I haven't. And it's allowing ourselves to tap into what is out there that can help me, and how can I help myself? What can I do? And I like to use meditation, guided meditation. I like to use other methods of energy healing. I'm a Reiki practitioner. I'm learning tapping, which is not hard, but there is a method to it that I really want to hone my skill on. And I think that, having compassion and creating a safe space for us to share our stories is one of the beauties of YouTube. And there are many of you that have, we might have a similar word in common: sorrow, grief, tragedy. What my tragedy is not your tragedy. And so we have to create space for that. But what my hope is that we don't live in that place and be stuck. I want to climb personally through the muck and come out into the sunshine and feel the waterfall of all of this community's love and light and healing, goodness, kindness, respect. And so one of the things that we'll do, and I'm going to show you this because it's one of, and I'm sure it's backwards. These are the 4 agreements. I was introduced to this by a couple of people, and yes, I have all these tabs, so I absolutely do read it. This is one thing that I'd like at some point in the future for all of us to sort of tap into, because using our words is critical. And the other thing that I'd love for us to focus on, since there are 12 universal laws, I would like us to talk about them. Where did I put it? Hold on. All right, you're not going to be able to see it either, but it is the 12 laws of the universe, right? And so I thought each month we could use the first law to talk about how each of us can then be better humans, be better friends, be better companions, neighbors. And so the first law is the divine of oneness. And my next session, we're going to talk about it and dive into it, because during my time on the village, I went through all 12 at a high level. And I think there's a connection there for each of us, that we can raise our vibration into this place of love and light and acceptance. And thank you, Cassie. Heart. And so it's really, we have to be sensitive to each other, and we've lost that. Or maybe it's always been there, and for some reason it's been heightened. So that's a little bit about this. Now a little bit about me. So why watch me? Why care? As I said, my name's Teresa. I'm 61 and I'm blessed to be here. So it's weird. I'm not sure where to start the story. I'm going to go to 2013 real quick and just say that I was starting a new journey in 2013. I was going to be turning 50. It was February, and I went to therapy for the first time in a couple of years. Prior to that, I had been going for 25 years. Took a little break, and my mother got diagnosed with cancer. So in my therapy session, before I knew this, my focus was, I'm turning 50. I don't want to be on my deathbed going, oh, I should have done this and I should have healed and I should be at this place and upside the head. And for the next several years, I took care of my mom with love, with gratitude, wouldn't change one iota of that. And she passed in 2016. I was prepared for her death. I didn't want my mother to suffer. My mother taught me what it is to experience true love and patience, caregiving at a level that only those of you in the industry know or have taken care of your own loved ones can relate to. It is a new area of love that I experienced that I had never had. What I wasn't prepared for was the following week after my mother's death, my healthcare company put me on a performance review that I wasn't achieving certain metrics they thought I should, and I hadn't been traveling enough for my job. They all knew my mother was dying, by the way, and that I was on the phone. I worked 50 hours a week, by the way, taking care of my mother full time. Not really their whatever. Shortly after my mother died, they fired me in February of 2017. And I sort of broke. I fell apart and went into this terrible spiral of depression. Now, I was also still hopeful in some ways that I could find a new life for myself. And I took a sabbatical from looking for a job. And I stumbled upon a Reiki teacher. Now, we're going to talk a lot about teachers and people that influence us. I needed to experience this first Reiki teacher to show me what not to be and to listen to my voice and to walk away when that teacher does not honor or respect or guide you or support you. But at that time, I was so vulnerable that for a short period of time, I allowed this person to mistreat me verbally, condescend to me, tell me I was dirty. Now, if you know anything about me, if you tell me I'm dirty, it brings up a whole other can of worms that we'll talk about on a different day. And I had to go home that night and I pulled over off the side of the road and I was hysterical, screaming in a parking lot at the Sunset. Thank God this business was not open at the time. And I was so filled with rage and sorrow at the same time, I can't even tell you. And I never went back. Oh, no, I lied. I did go back because I was owed money for the course. I wanted my money back. But anyway, that I digress. I still loved Reiki and I loved what it was teaching me. One of the things that it taught me, this Sicilian animated person, was to sit back a second and listen. Listen. What was someone saying? What did this person or any person intend? And what did I want to do? Unfortunately, the next 2 years, my depression and my grief was debilitating. Literally, showering, getting out of bed, getting dressed was next to impossible. And that sorrow, I could not climb out of it. And from a chemical perspective, I don't know enough about dopamine, but I've been reading and watching and studying a little, excuse me. And dopamine really plays a really big part in all of our energy. And we'll talk about that more. But I was crushed. Long story short, January of 2019, I had a massive heart event. It's called spontaneous coronary artery dissection. I had a paper cut in the artery. It pooled all the blood behind my heart and collapsed it, which is called Takotsubo cardiomyopathy or broken heart syndrome. And I had a broken heart. I was aware enough to call 911. I was aware enough to get myself to a hospital. Well, the ambulance came and took me to the hospital. And after I heard the nurse reach my best friend, I just looked at the doctor and I said, I think I'm going to pass out. And for 14 minutes, I was no longer part of this earth. Again, another discussion for another day. And it's a magical one, but the purpose of me sharing that is when I came out and I came back and I had this tube down my throat and I couldn't communicate. It was an odd out-of-body experience. And one person in that hospital room could help translate what I needed, and that was my best friend. That girl got her ass out of bed at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, and she got to that hospital in record time. And she was my voice because one of my brothers came, and eventually my father came, and none of those two could help. They were not in the right space. So what I would say is it was like electric shock therapy to my brain. And I came out feeling joy and gladness and gratitude. And I had gratitude, but not like this. And that lasted a solid year, by the way, that high. And apparently it's normal for people that have had this kind of event. Then we went into COVID. So again, you become insulated and more remote. And this is where a lot of my growth started to happen truly, deeply, almost magically, because you had to find a new way to connect. And I was fortunate enough to find some people that are pretty awakened. They are pretty intuitive. And I understood what that meant. And yet, as I started to express myself to friends, neighbors, family, they chalked it up to, me being a drama queen. And I'll own that title because as a young girl, as a child, as a young adult, being a drama queen was the only way I got attention. And it was the best way for me to get attention and to be seen and to be heard. So I'll own that title. I may not want it today, but I own that. And I have a vision today of a clearer vision of almost who I was. And the other thing that as we go through this, we're going to talk about how some people, and they can love you and you can love them, they can't be there. They can't be your sounding board. They can't be your support. And I'm a lot on a good day. This is a lot. I love hard, and I grieve hard, and I cry hard. And so it's truly something that I think, we all could relate to. Other people are more demure or introverted. Nope. It all comes out with me. And it's a lot for friends, and it's a lot to ask of people that don't necessarily buy into that kind of support. I had said a while ago, when I was going through all of this stuff, it was like people scattered like cockroaches when you turn the light on. And it was lonely. I was lonely and I was alone. And I didn't know how to navigate some of that until I really tuned into the Reiki energy that's out there and energy itself. And I am a person of faith. I won't talk religion because I have my own philosophy on religion, but I have faith. I was raised in faith. Um, so my prayers were sometimes long and other times short, sometimes grateful and other times angry. And it was like, why am I, supposedly a good person, so alone? Why am I so divorced from others? One of the nails that got hit by a hard hammer, um, and there's a couple of girls, ladies, women in this chat right now that were with me. So we were in a theater production. And it was my last theater production before I had my heart event. And I had been feeling ill, but I also had been feeling very disrespected in this community of performers. There were one or two that were really had my back. They loved me. But I had lost my voice. My singing voice was not there before I had my heart event. And I felt betrayed because there were nips behind my back. And I took it so hard and so personal. The reflection is I had to say, look in the mirror. I was talking about one or two people as well. So I was no better than the rest. And that, before I had my heart event, was a realization that words matter. Words matter. Where did I just put my 4 agreements? Words matter. What we say, what we do, how we behave matters. I can make you feel so fabulous and I could wound you into the grave. I don't want to be that person. I want to raise you up. And that means sometimes taking a hard look and listening and saying, you know what, I haven't walked a mile in that person's shoes. I don't know what they're going through. The other thing, and I think it comes with age, and maybe some of you can relate, I would say we have more wisdom as we get older, and we realize that when we were in our 20s and 30s and we thought we knew everything, I knew everything, every topic, everything. I could relate to every instance. I had no idea what I was talking about. In today's day and age, I'm smart enough to know I don't know what I'm talking about. I know that I can talk about what I've experienced. But if you say to me, you know, somebody done you wrong, and I've not been married, I can't speak to a marriage. I can speak to what I can support you, and I can offer you tools, but I can't tell you how to feel. What I can tell you is the grieving process and how to listen to your heart and how to listen to your soul and your spirit and to acknowledge and give yourself grace. But in every single thing in this world, there's a cause and effect. Everything. There is energy throughout this world, cause and effect, right? And so there's one side, another side, and the truth's in the middle. And each of us with our experience feels that we are the right one. And it doesn't mean that we have to surrender our hurt, our pain, our voice, our experience. But stepping back and looking at the other side may bring you both to the same place. And not everybody's, prepared to do that. I hope to just offer you a thought. Dog, don't even think about barking. The dogs in the dog park are barking, so I may have to mute us in 2 seconds to yell at mine. I think that that's what this channel is going to be really focused on. Let's raise our vibration. Let's bring ourselves up. Let's embrace. I'm angry and I'm hurt. Those are valid. Don't discount those. And that's what I learned through my heart event. It It began that journey. I think I've known it, but I couldn't tap into it. And as I continue to study with some of these fantastic teachers, one of the things that I've learned and continue to learn is to be open and to allow that inner voice. It's there. We know stuff. We know how we feel. We know that the divine is present, and we just have to accept it. And I've been pushing hard back, like, I don't feel anything. Other people will hear something, or they're extra intuitive, and they get a feeling out there from the universe. I'm like, knock, knock. I'm not feeling it. I don't know it. I don't get it. Guess what? I don't have to. I have to believe in myself. I believe in my voice. I believe that there is a presence, a divineness greater than myself. And that in order for this world that we're moving into in 2025, which by all accounts is going to be interesting. I don't want to put out any negative words out into the universe. I was going to say volatile, but it's not. And even if it is, I want my response to be love. I want my response to be, well, how can I affect someone else? And kindness goes a long way, folks. And I think we underestimate that each one of us in this chat right now and watching later, we absolutely are all healers. And this is what I mean. If you've ever gone into a grocery store or a gas station and you've shown any modicum of kindness to someone, a smile, a compliment, and you watch that person smile and lift up. There's a person that I run into regularly at Walmart, always downtrodden. And I make it a point every single time I see her to pay one compliment. And you will watch her whole body language. Just she's a little bit taller at the register. And if she got her nails done, your nails are so beautiful. Where did you get them done? Smile. You could just smile at somebody. If you see someone struggling, especially an older person, which I'm fast approaching, I'm going to want someone to help me put my bag in my car. The smallest, kindest thing that we can do to someone else can raise their vibration. You can make them feel less alone just by that one small, simplest act of kindness. And so we're going to try this on a regular basis here, and to be grateful. I don't need to tell you what to be grateful about, because your life could be a shit show. Oh, I don't know. Can I say that? I'm going to have to ask Misha if I can say that on YouTube. But if you're going through it, find one thing. And I don't care if it's the beautiful sunset. I don't care if it's the delicious taste of your toast in the morning, or the smell of coffee, or you're grateful because you got the use of both your hands and your feet, or you could get out of bed today. We want to be able to raise each other up and to feel that light and love. And I have been feeling this calling to do this for a long time. Got a lot to say, but I have a lot of friends that have a lot to say. And so what I hope over the next several months, as I work out the kinks here and I get to learn some of these systems, is to do lives. I'm going to host a meditation, free. So I don't, there's no cost to this. I really believe that if we can do a guided meditation, they'll be specific. It will be for healing. It'll be for forgiving. It'll be for aiding your trauma, putting your trauma in a place that isn't eating at you 24 hours a day. And Oh, thank Mr. Floyd. I wasn't sure if cursing was allowed. Not that I want that to be my regular adjective. I think I can find some better ones, but shit show seems to be appropriate for that topic. Um, but I really do think that if we can find a way to bring ourselves down, I will host through Zoom. So it won't be in this arena, but I'll send an invite, and anyone that wants to participate can come and join that meditation and experience it. Because when I talk about being a guided meditation, I want you to listen. So you have to be in that place to go through the experience, because I'm going to bring you deep. And I don't think I shared that. Not only am I a certified Reiki practitioner, I did go on to become a master, but I feel funny saying the word master because I really believe that being a master comes with time. And that's just my opinion. I'm also a certified hypnotherapist. So one of the things that in my practice, that's the focus, is to really guide you to find your way of overcoming whatever it is, whether it's food, whether it's smoking, whether it's sleeping, or some trauma. I think, there's a way to help through that. And so that talking, that guiding is to allow you to become rested. So real quickly, DJ's here. Thank you for making it. Reiki. I don't know if everybody knows what Reiki is, and I'm just going to make it real simple for today, but it's an energy healing. And the best way that I can, or the simplest, anyone that's ever driven on a highway, there's 3 lanes. You got the slow, the middle, and the fast. And then all of them, sudden, they all stop. You ain't going anywhere. In our bodies, we block our energy. We don't always take full breaths, right? We don't really breathe. So how can we heal ourselves when it's like a traffic jam in your body? Reiki is like a police car, traffic cop coming down the highway, and everyone has to move over. The traffic cop goes up along the fast lane, and all of a sudden there's movement. Reiki energy is like the traffic cop in your body. And through a series of in a restful state, you can be guided and relaxed into a place where your body can heal itself. And so it's something that we'll talk more about. I'm only doing this at a simple level because that's not what we're here to talk about today. But I love Reiki energy. I love the healing energy of Reiki. I love how I feel after it. It's as close to, a way of almost a massage, but it's not. It's hands off. And even if you put your hands on, there's no, I'm looking for the word. Sorry, sometimes words escape me. There's no real deep tissue. There's no touching per se, like a massage would be. And I love me a massage, but it's not in my budget. So I think for me, I do self Reiki. And this is something that I can share with you all, is how can you do it for yourself? And I will bet, what's the saying, dimes to donuts, that all of you have done it already. Any one of you that have bumped your head and put your hand on your head, you're doing Reiki. You're transferring energy from your own hand to that spot that you've bumped yourself. If you've ever cut yourself, if you've ever kissed a child's boo-boo, you are already doing Reiki energy. Just so you know. And no rubbing. That's right. It is like your inner sage, your inner voice. And that's what I want us to tap into. We all have it. I don't want us to be afraid of it. I don't want us to judge it. And I want you to see that it's not some woo-woo something. I have a lot of friends that I have met along the way that are tarot readers, that are astrologers, that are other predictors, if you will, and think that that's a great opportunity for someone to share. I also know of other people that have sort of created other practices that they work through their stuff with. And I also believe that using your voice, singing, laughing is a way of therapy. And tapping into that inner voice, that inner songwriter, that inner poet, can help us move through. And I have some tips and tricks that I'm going to be sharing. And we'll probably do that with the first law of universe anyway. But there are other ways that to journal your experience. And if you're blocked, and for years I couldn't journal, I stopped. I stopped because someone read my journal. I stopped because there was a violation. And now I have nothing to hide. So, plus my dogs don't read. It's, but I use a technique that I was taught years ago, and it seems to help. So I'll leave you with this before I jump off. I am going to go through the comments though, just so I can say hello to anybody I missed. But if you're struggling with journaling, or you don't know what to say in a journal, and you don't have a song that you could just sing it out, take a piece of paper and fold it in half. And on one side, write happy adjectives, and on the other side, write the negative adjectives, whichever ones. And then take a moment and look at each side. And one might be longer than the other for that first day, that first time, any day. And maybe write a sentence and take the first word. So beautiful, ugly. I no longer allow myself to feel ugly. I am beautiful. Let's change the narrative. The one thing, there's a couple of things, but I won't allow in my own circle those negative words anymore. And I'm going to ask you not to also. It's easy to say, oh, I'm silly, I'm stupid, I'm this, I'm that. Those voices are already there. Let's use our words. I am beautiful. I do have a good heart. I am a good person. I'm a good friend. Even if you may not be today, you are a good friend. You're going to be a good friend. Change it to the positive. I'm not a good writer. Yes, you are. I'm a good writer. I'm not a good caregiver. Yes, you are. You're a good caregiver. I'm not a good mother, father, daughter, sister, brother, aunt, uncle. All of those things you are. Because here's your opportunity. You know better. You get to do better. And that's also part of this journey. It's all this healing journey. It's raising our vibration to be better people. You might be left, I might be right. You might be right, I might be left. Okay, I went backwards with looking at my hands. But, black, white, red, yellow, it doesn't really matter. It's finding that common place. And in this current 2025, as we embark on some roller coasters that we may experience, good and bad, it's really going to challenge us to embrace the difference of others. You don't have to accept it, but embrace, because each of us has walked a mile through trudgery. We've had a time, and so we have formulated our voice, our opinion, perhaps influenced by others. Let's influence ourselves. Let's get to know ourselves. Let's raise ourselves up. Let's support each other. So yeah, it's a little kumbaya. but that's what I want. I want to make people feel valued and appreciated. And at the end of the day, you are valued and appreciated. And this isn't always going to be a heavy channel. I don't think these are heavy topics. I think that they are thoughtful and hopefully provocative over time. And if there's something along the way that you're interested in maybe talking about through my channel, you can email me. I'm not going to do a whole bunch of social media right now. I get overwhelmed very easily and can't navigate all of the mediums of communication. So I'm going to start with email and see how it goes. And I do my best to respond in a timely fashion. So let me just do a quick scroll through and see what I can find real quickly before I let everybody go. And I want to just say, as I'm starting to scroll through some of this, how much I appreciate you guys being here. Yes. It's, this is a new adventure, and I'm sure I'm going to look back and go, oh my gosh, what a goofball. But I'm okay with being a goofball. I'm okay with being a little bit offbeat. I really welcome different perspectives, but only in love and light, only in kindness. And so that's what I will wish for you all on a daily basis. All right, let me see where I am with these comments. Can I scroll up? And let's see. All right. I see. Oops. We've got. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, guys. It'll just take me a minute to sort of navigate this. Yes, I see. I think I said hi to Shannon. I've said hi to some of you guys already. So, PG, Lindsay, Cassie, yay, yay, yay. It's going fast. All of a sudden, stuff is popping up on this computer that I'm not interested in. Marie, yeah. Dum, dum. I know I got to see Brazzy Girl. I said hi already. I just don't want to miss anybody. Millie, I didn't say hello to you. Hello, Millie. Welcome. Whoops. I hit the thing going the wrong way. Somebody's saying hi to Josh. That might be Mr. Floyd's universe. So hello. Oh, Cassie. Let's see. Scroll. I just don't want to miss anybody at all that has joined us. I think I said hi to Crystal, but I'm not sure. So hello, Crystal. And I'm almost at the end. Yes. So just to share, so DJ Nico, he's put together some music, and both he and Misha, who is awakened on this, awakened by the looking glass reflection, have taught me this application Suno or Sono, Suno, and you can make your own songs. And so I've been playing with it, and I hope to share a song that I put together. But Nico's got a knack for it, man. And so does Misha. Holy moly. So really look forward to playing around with that. I would like to create an intro with that music. And so Marie has a couple of points here. She and a couple of you guys have been saying the same thing about discovering yourselves and growing and learning. And I just welcome you. And I think it's going to be a great journey. We're going to have a lot of fun in tapping into understanding and accepting. We don't have to know everything, but we can be there as a listener. And for those of you that are probably in Massachusetts, I don't know if anybody else is familiar with it, but there's a place at the end of Massachusetts, in Lee, Massachusetts, or Lenox, called Kripalu. It's a yoga retreat, and they do a whole bunch of other things. And I had gone there when my mom was sick for a retreat, and my heart has been closed. It's been in a cage for pretty much my adult life. And it was called the Open Heart Seminar. And it taught me some listening skills that I can't wait to share with you guys, because it did rock my world. And being a chatterbox and being someone who thought she knew it all, if you said to me, oh yeah, I've been really feeling depressed. Oh my God, me too. And let me tell you all about me. No, it's not about you. It's not about me. You were telling me you're depressed. I need to learn to be quiet and let me tell me, what do you need? Do you want conversation, or do you just want me to be somebody who listens today? What do you need? Because if someone's coming to you, they need. I want to acknowledge that. Let's see. I don't think I see. Okay, I got a puppy here. Hold on. Come here. Up. Come on. You want to say hi to everybody? Come here. All right, then behave. I think he has to go pee-pee, so we will call it pretty quickly. All right, I think that I have seen pretty much everybody in the chat. If I missed you, I see Mock is here. Yeah, I'm never going to say that full name. I have seen some people say it. I'm just going to call you Mock. And if I have a real name, I'll call you that. That's a tough one for me. And I think we're at the bottom. So as we end today, thank you again for being here. I hope to go live on Thursday, and I'm trying to navigate what's the best time. So I may do a day version early in the week, and then an end of day on Thursday. So Tuesdays and Thursdays initially are going to be my days, I think, and then maybe on a Sunday. I like to take walks with the dogs and bring them along and bring you along on my live and sort of have it be a little introspective. There's so much that we can glean from nature. It's unbelievable. My nickname is Tree. I am rooted in the earth. I am rooted in Mother Earth, and I have a strong trunk. But I have multiple branches, and some have been broken and some have not. And the one thing that we will talk about a lot is kintsugi. It is the Japanese art form of putting things back together with gold. And come on now, Bubba. And so for me, we're gonna take our shattered pieces and we're gonna create a beautiful art that is us. And I'll talk about more of that. So I want to leave you with so many blessings today. And I send you with love and light, compassion, appreciation, and gratitude, sprinkled with a little bit of joy and giggles out there. So have a great day, everybody. I send you with lots of love. All right. Have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to what this is going to bring us.